Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, I'm super pumped. Like, seriously, I cannot even tell you how excited I am for the Zoom. Like, Christy Jex. Okay, so I met Christy in Utah when I spoke at Super Saturday. Like, I'm gonna cry, seriously, because Christy Jex is like the most amazing person in the entire world, y'all. I mean, and she is one of the many reasons she's successful is because she loves people. And like, seriously, I think I'm gonna cry. Like, what's wrong
Oh,
with
you're making me cry. You gotta stop.
So let me just tell you an example. So we met in Utah. She was our host for Super Saturday. Like, fell in love with her the moment I met her. We had so much fun the whole weekend. So the last night we are going to dinner after everything's over, and we're walking. This is the kind of person Christy is. We're walking in Utah, and it starts snowing. And me, because I was just hot from the day, had on this wool sweater that had holes in it, but I was hot, so I didn't take my coat. And so Christy literally, it is snowing and freezing, and Christy literally takes off her coat and puts it on me. Like,
Oh,
she is like a true, like, I can't even explain it. Like, you're just amazing. So anyways, that is one of the many reasons that she's successful, is because she loves people, and she is so relational. But she is on fire right now. I mean, her team is blowing up. She's doing amazing things. And so she hit Sapphire. Was it last month or the month before?
last month.
Last month. Okay. And I know she's going to soar through to Diamond. And I'm just proud of her. And like I said, I just met her in January, and I feel like I've known her a whole lot longer than that. And so thank you for being on with us today. I'm going to give it over to you. Guys, if y'all have questions, put it in the chat. Everybody cross their fingers that the internet doesn't go out because it's storming. And so we can carry on. So anyways, go ahead, Christy. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Beth, you're so sweet. I'm going to have to let my cloudy eyes clear out because you're making me cry. You're such a sweetheart. I feel the same way. When we met, it was like instant. We've been friends forever. And oh, I love Beth. She is the real deal. That accent, I just love her. So I am so honored to be on your call today. And I'm going to say something that is hard for me to say. I have made a pact that until Diamond, I'm not doing any team calls. This is the first one and the only one I'm doing because I love Beth.
Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, thank you. Oh my God.
Of course. But that just tells you I love you and you mean a lot to me. So of course I'm honored. And I'm honored to be on anyone's team call. Like, that's such an honor. But with juggling 4 children, and I still do hair part-time, and our team's, in momentum, and I want to keep going, I kind of had to set that for now. But gosh, it's just an honor, and I'm so excited to see you. And I love to see your faces, so thank you for letting me see your faces. It gives me energy to see people and to look in your eyes, so thank you for that. I just want to share my story with you. I feel like I will give you some business tips for sure, but I feel like I love to hear people's stories. Are you like that too? Like, where do you come from? What made you want to do this? Like, what kind of things are you good at? What kind of things are hard for you? So I wanted to share my story with you so you can maybe relate with some of it. And I'm really just hoping and praying that there's something that I will say that will spark something in your heart that will help you in your life as a mom, as a wife, as a whatever your role is, and in your business. So just a little bit about me. I live in Saratoga Springs, Utah, which is a little bit south of Salt Lake and west. So we are kind of we call it a mini farm. We want to be farmers. We have like a massive garden. My husband's all about it. We have chickens. We got some brand new chicks. We love to get the eggs. My kids love playing with the chickens. We have like guinea pigs and birds, and we love animals, but I'm allergic to everything furry, so we have to make do and get chickens, right? So that's our world. We have church farms in the back. We've got farms for miles, so we have like wide open back there. I have a salon in my basement. I do hair part-time. I have 4 children, 13 down to 2, 3 boys and a girl, and a hot husband. I always have to throw that in there because he always gets the shaft if we just talk about our kids, right? So I've got my husband, and we are just kind of living the life of having lots of young kids. It's a really demanding life, as I'm sure all of you know that have children, but man, it's the best. It's what I've always wanted. It's like my dream come true. So that's a little bit about me. And I want to tell you about my health journey first, and then I'll tell you about the business part as well. And then, of course, I'd love to give you a couple of tips that I see as important. And I know it's so fun to hear from different people because everybody brings something different to the table. Everybody has their own filters that they see life with. And so it's always so fun to get people's stories and then get a couple of tips. So that's what I'd love to do. So my health story, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I have so much passion about the products. That's what drives everything. And I feel like that's really foundational to make sure that you do have a really strong belief in the products. That's super foundational for growing a business. So with my health story, I've always been a pretty active person. I was a gymnast growing up, really competitive, serious gymnast. And so I was really fit. That's something that I've always loved, is to be fit and healthy. Needless to say, I didn't really struggle with any sort of, hi, Stephanie, thanks for letting me see your face. I love that. I'm so weird, but like I love to connect with people. And so I was always pretty healthy. I did cheer and dance when I got into high school. I did choir. I was that girl that had like 3 jobs and was involved in everything because I just wanted to be involved and get as much as I could out of life. And I always was pretty happy and high on life. Hi, Kate. Yay. And those things were kind of just natural for me. I do love people. My husband always makes fun of me that I collect best friends because I'll be like, oh, she's my best friend. She's my father-in-law gets a kick out of it. He's all, and she's your best friend too, right? I'm like, yeah. I love people. I really, really love people. And, you know, different phases of life, you find your best friend or people that you really connect with. So yes, I love to collect best friends, and I love to meet and love on people. But my health journey, I started to notice some changes with my health after I had my second kid, Christian. He's my 7-year-old. He's got a big blonde curly hair, darling little dude. But after I had him, I started to notice that I had some brain fog. I started to feel a little bit depressed and anxious, which was really not me. I started to not be able to lose weight, which was super frustrating because I'd always been pretty fit and healthy. I also noticed that I had really bad sugar cravings. A lot of these things just kind of gradually started to come on. And I'll be honest, I wasn't raised, how do I say this? Like, I was raised on a lot of love and really crappy food. Like, my sweet mom, she would kill me if she heard this. We didn't eat really healthy. Like, it was Tony's pizzas and like tamales that you cut out of the thing, like all processed food. Like, I just think that it wasn't really well known back then what that kind of food does to your body. So I was raised on that kind of food. I didn't really know anything about nutrition. And so in that time when I started to notice that my health was declining, I was like, gosh, there's got to be something I can do to feel better, like by the food I put in my mouth. So I started to dig in and become a student of nutrition and exercise. And so I really just head first dove into that so that I could learn about all those things. And it's funny because I know that God has his ways are mysterious, and we don't know why things happen, but they always fit together. And that was kind of the beginning of this journey that led me here. So I went to the doctor. Sure enough, I had thyroid issues, which so many people struggle with. I had hypothyroidism. And so they put me on a medication, and I was kind of hungry for more. I'm like there with my planner, tell me what else I can do. And they're like, well, take your pill and get your thyroid checked every 6 weeks and you should be fine. And I was like, okay, cool. But is that it? All right, for now, that's great. Took my pill and I did okay for a couple of years. And then fast forward to Lucy girl, she's 4. And after I had her, I was like, ooh, something's really not right. It just got worse and worse. So I sought out more answers. And again, those stirrings came, like there's more that you can do than just take a pill. So I went to a functional medicine doctor. And I don't know if you're familiar with how they work, but they're all about getting to the root, getting to the very bottom of what's going on in your body. And then they talk about your lifestyle. They ask you about your diet. They do all those things, and they are more into supplementation. They do more in-depth blood testing. So I said, take me. I don't care what you have to poke, prod. Like, I've got to find out what's going on. And so what they said was I had Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid autoimmune condition. That's why my symptoms kept getting worse with each pregnancy. The blood sugar, everything that was happening, my hormones, all of that were just wreaking havoc on my body. So then they told me I had Hashimoto's, I had adrenal fatigue pretty severely. I had the worst, you guys, the worst candida yeast overgrowth that they'd ever seen at their office. And they were a pretty popular office that was really hard to get into. And there were several practitioners that were practicing out of that office. So I was not excited to hold that record, but I was excited for answers. I wanted to know what the heck was wrong with my body. And so they told me, also I had some food sensitivities, some vitamin deficiencies, you know, whatever. So they told me, okay, you have the autoimmune component. It's like a fire burning in your body. As long as you let that fire burn, you're going to get more and more autoimmune conditions. And I'll tell you, I was starting to not show up for my family. It was starting to get so bad that I was really impeding my ability to be a mama. Sorry. Every time I tell this story, I get teary because it was really rocking my world. And this is the phase of life I'd always dreamt of, like have my babies, be that fun, happy mom. And it was being taken from me, and I was like, gosh, I got to find out what's going on so I can show up for my family. So they told me, you can't eat sugar, dairy, gluten, or yeast ever again. Sugar, dairy, gluten, yeast. Nothing fun at all, ever again. Like, not like a cleanse, but they said in order to get that fire under control in your body and get that inflammation under control, you're going to have to cut those things out of your diet. And of course, that was like a full-time job to make my own food, anything processed. I couldn't eat anything that I didn't make with my own hands from the really like exclusive section at the grocery store. It had to be like really clean food. But I was determined to get feeling better so I could get my life back, right? So I did that, you guys. They had me on a whole gamut of supplements. They did a cortisol test to see how my stress levels were. And of course, most of us in this day and age have high levels of cortisol because we live stressful lives. So they said, you've got to find a way to get control of your stress. And I felt like it was interesting because my responsibilities were mounting. And so I thought, okay, I'll find a way to get control of my stress. I've got to find a way to control what's in here because I can't control all that. And so it led me down this journey of yoga and all these awesome meditation things that you've got to get control of the stress, mindfulness and all of that. Long story short, I committed to these things because I was so committed to show up for my family and get my world back. And I knew that he had bigger plans for me than just to be sickly. And I thought, okay, I'm here. I'll do what you want me to do. Give me a way and I'll do it. So then I did that for a couple of years, you guys. It was really hard. But then I had my last baby, Benji boy, and he is 2 years old. And after I had him, it was a low of lows. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a picture. I really wish that I was super organized and I had it and I could just share my screen and say, this was it. I'm not a techie girl though, so here we are. But there's a picture that has gone around that has 4 pictures of me. One of them, I'm staring in that mirror that I can see right there. And that was my low point. I looked in the mirror and I was so inflamed. My eyes were so cloudy. I had such bad brain fog. I couldn't think. My sugar cravings were out of control. I was like 40 pounds overweight and I couldn't get it to come off. I was depressed and anxious. I'd been on an antidepressant for 4 years then, because after this started to get bad, I found myself just in survival mode. So I had to go on that to just not be snappy and be angry with my kids, which what? That's what I've always wanted. It was so hard. Okay, so anyway, that was my low point. What I was doing wasn't working anymore. And it left me desperate because then what? Like I'm eating as clean as I can. I'm trying to control the stress in my life and I still feel miserable. It was so defeating. So that's when my darling little friend told me about Plexus. And I said, oh, that's really sweet. And patted her on the head, so to speak, and said, not interested. I know what it takes to heal the body. I've been on this journey for 7, 8 years now. I've dug into this. I know there's no quick fix. That was what my attitude was. There is no quick fix. You have to eat right. You have to control the stress in your life. You have to do all these things, basically. But she loved me enough to bring it up again. And she had some serious guts because I'm a pretty stubborn girl. excuse me, I can be pretty stubborn. I'm hard to impress because I am not into being won over by like a quick fix. That was so not my thing. And I was pretty vocal about how much I didn't like network marketing and how much I wasn't into quick fixes. So she told me again, Christy, you've got to look into these supplements. Here's the 3 things they address: blood sugar balance, healing the gut, and reducing inflammation. And when she said that, something went, wait, what? That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been trying to do with my functional medicine doctor for years. Tell me what's in the supplements. Like, I need to know what's in it because I've been taking this stuff for years. Needless to say, I was really skeptical. I was not open. And so take note, you guys, sometimes the most skeptical, rotten, hard people will be your most on fire business builders because they are passionate about being skeptical and passionate once they buy into the products, they are passionate. So needless to say, I started the products. I did not have fast results, you guys. It takes longer with thyroid people. It takes longer with autoimmune issues. So about 90 days in is when I had my total breakthrough. I could just scream from the mountaintops. I felt amazing. I didn't have to have naps anymore. I didn't have that depression and anxiety. It started to lift. I started to have my belly fat melt away. My inflammation started to go down. Like my face, I seriously looked like a chipmunk because it was just like so deformed for being so inflamed. All those things started to go away and my heart started to be on fire about the products. And mind you, I had done network marketing before and I had about 150 people on my team to do the business and we made no money. None. I like sold out for 3 years. I did meetings and 3-way calls constantly, like, and we didn't make any money. None. I'm not kidding. We didn't make any money. And I did not ever want to put my friends and family in that situation again. I never wanted to put stress on my relationships because that's what I love. I'm all about relationships. And so I vowed I would never do it again, ever, ever, ever. And so when I started to feel those stirrings, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this. So, but here's the deal. And this is what I love to talk about the most. There was a moment when I had to make a decision because the stirrings wouldn't stop. He knows what he's doing. And I'm a God girl. So I said, okay, if you want me to do this, then make sure to tell me in a really strong way so that I can be passionate. Because if I'm going to do something, it's going to be 100%. I can't toe dip. So I went away for a weekend and I prayed my heart out about this. And I said, okay, I do not want to do this. But if it's your way is always the best way. So tell me. I got one of the strongest answers to prayer that I have ever gotten in my life. And it was as clear as can be. And I tell the story all the time. I can remember what I was wearing, what I looked at. I can remember there was bathwater running. Benji was on the bed. Like I was kneeling in prayer, wanting desperately to have an answer to if I was supposed to share this little gig or not. And my answer was, this is not about you. There are thousands of people waiting for you to show up. You need to show up. I'm highly motivated by helping other people, highly. I wanted nothing to do with this, but if it meant that I could help someone else out of the pit of hell that they were in, because I know what it feels like to be hopeless and to feel desperate with your help. And if that means me sharing would help someone get out of the pit, well then let's freaking go. And so I said, okay, I'll show up. It's not about me. Let's go. That was May 22nd of 2016. I did my first post and it exploded because people knew I was really skeptical and I was really not open to quick fixes, and they knew I had health struggles. So it was like this perfect storm. He knows what he's doing, right? And so it started to explode. 2 weeks later was the convention, and Brooke and Emily are my mentors, and they said, you got to come to convention. And I was like, I don't do hype sessions. No, thank you. I'm not going. I don't need to get all hyped up. Like, I'll share with people when they talk to me, you know, but they knew what they were doing. So they got me there. The first night I was like, I had PTSD from my previous network marketing experience. And I said, oh gosh, I don't know why I'm here or what I'm doing. I don't want to do this, but you guys know as well as I do, these people are different. This company is different. And I got my moment with cute Rhonda Shaw and Jen Hawkins at the gold training, because I hit gold like 2 weeks after I started. we had enough people to, once they processed, we would hit gold. And so when I heard them talking about be yourself, be authentic, don't blow your Facebook feed up with Plexus, because I'm like, I can't do that. I'm genuine. I can't just become a sales girl. My wheels started turning and I said, okay, I think I can do this. And so needless to say, you guys, we hit Emerald in a year, and then Sapphire just last month. So about, 18, 19 months in, and I am pushing full steam ahead for Diamond in the summer. So yes, it's a lot. It's crazy at times, but his way is always the best way. And so what I would say, you guys, is if you haven't had that moment where you drew your line in the sand, because people ask me all the time for business tips, and I go, okay, I'm not sure what to say. You've got to have a heart on fire. And I think that's part of why this has been faster for me. I know there's a lot of people that have been faster than me, but I wanted to still be my mom, my kids' mama, and have teeny time and play Legos every day. I got to play Barbies every day or play house, and I still do hair part-time. Life is demanding. So I said, I'm willing to sacrifice these things. I'm not willing to sacrifice everything. I got to still be a mama. But you can make this happen in the cracks if you are super intentional, if you have a heart on fire, and you have had that moment where you draw your freaking line in the sand and you say, I am doing this. There is no going back. I am working through the crap, whatever lays ahead. Because you guys, you know that there's a roller coaster on this journey. So much. You guys, there have been days right before I hit Sapphire, I had one of my darkest months mentally. I was like, Satan was working on me, and I was just allowing those thoughts to fester. You're not a good leader. You can't really do this. It's not going to last. Your people are going to see that you're not really a good leader. It was dark. And then we hit Sapphire, and it's kind of like you go from one pillar to the next, and there's a lot of yucky stuff in between. That's part of the journey. Some people look at me, and I am pretty positive. I like to be high on life, but that doesn't mean that it's all roses and posies. It is a constant battle right here and right here. Shifting to my heart, shifting to my truth is a constant battle. But when your line is drawn in the sand and you know that there is zero chance of going back, we're talking, there's no, oh, well, okay, maybe this would be a graceful exit. Maybe I'll just slowly fade because that person quit, that person quit, that person quit. That person quit. Guess who's the determining factor in your success in your life and in your business? There are a bazillion people out there that don't know about Plexus, and we have this thing called social media. We have access to all these people across the whole world. All we need is a handful of people to take this seriously, and your life is changed forever financially, and you can touch so many lives, and you get the free Lexus, and you get the free trips, and you get treated like royalty. I'm talking to the Reds, and you have so much fun. We party so hard and we work so hard. It's the best combination ever. But what I would say, you guys, is you've got to have that moment where you just say, I don't care what I have to face going forward. When you have those challenges and you feel like you want to quit, say, awesome, that means this is real, because anything that's real is going to have the dark times, the hard times. But as you submit to that process, and I know some people say, get off the roller coaster. No, I say woohoo, like you're going to have those days that are hard. And you know what? It's okay to have hard days. Don't stay there, for heaven's sake. The roller coaster goes down, but then guess what? It goes back up. Okay, so don't stay down there. You have the hard days, and then say, guess what? It's only going up from here. And then you're going to have a pinnacle, and you're going to hit a rank, or someone's going to say, yes, I want to do this. And then they'll say, oh, never mind. And then guess what? It's going to go back up. It's okay. It's a roller coaster, but do not stay down, because you've drawn your line in the sand, and you know that going forward is the only way out, is through it. And you can do this. You guys, these products are life-changing. They're not just good. They're not just an option. The combination of these products is life-changing. I have seen thousands of people's worlds completely change with these products. So what you have is so valuable. Do not be shy about shouting it from the rooftops. You're looking for those people that want to heal and they want to commit to this. Oh, that's nice. You guys want to see Benji boy? Come here, come say hi. Say hi, Benji. Say hi.
How are you? Oh, I love him.
So seriously though, I know sometimes it can be like, oh, I don't want to post. I don't want to bug my friends and family. No, what we have is a blessing. There's going to be some people, do you want to say hi? There's going to be some people that don't want, this is Lucy, that don't want to heal and they're not ready. And that's okay. It's okay. We don't need everyone to do plexus with us. What we do is we treat people with unconditional love, no matter what they say. Let's say, and then the next month they say, this isn't for me. Of course, we try to talk them off the ledge and we educate them. Some people just aren't ready, and that's okay. We still love them. Because guess what? We never know who's going to come around. And that takes so much pressure off of us. We don't have to put stress on our relationships because what they choose into is their choice. And we're here to offer a blessing. And that's it. We just keep sharing with our hearts on fire. We keep treating people with unconditional love. But don't forget why you're doing this. Go back to that moment with your line in the sand. If you haven't had that yet, get one. Because that will catapult your whole business. Having a definite line in the sand, having that commitment, having your heart on fire will change the way that you use all the tools, all the game planning, all the strategies that you do are all affected by that commitment and your heart being on fire at the very beginning where you drew your line in the sand. So really, that's what I would say. I don't know time-wise, is this good? Do you need more time? Do you have questions?
You're good. If anybody has questions, I'm sure that every one of you on here has fallen in love with her already.
Oh my God.
In 30 minutes, seriously. I had tears and chills and all of the above. If y'all have questions for her, seriously, y'all, she is like in absolute momentum right now. She has been on the top of the leaderboard many, many weeks for the entire company. I can't even say enough things about Christy.
Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. Sweet.
So if y'all have any questions at all, put them in the chat. Anything, business, personal. Well, I'm
wide open. Let's see. So tell me, like, if you have like logistical questions about business stuff, I'm open to that as well. I'm just passionate about mindset because I feel like that is like the foundation, and everything else is easier when you have a really powerful, strong mindset and that commitment. Everything is easier, and the law of attraction works. So if you are committed and you can see yourself at diamond, if you can see yourself at emerald, whatever your goal is, you know you're going to get there, everything shifts. People start to come out of the woodwork. Your posts sound different. When you do a live video, people can feel your passion and they're drawn to that. So I'm open for any sort of like logistical team questions or business building or anything like that. But that's my passion.
We have lots of people at work. Can you tell lots of people at work on here? But you know, that is truly the one thing that I know, and that's what I said at the beginning, is you love people. And because you love people and because you care about people, it's not about, yes, it is a business for you, and yes, you have goals, but more importantly, you want to take care of people. And I know that you've set your goals and you've set your goals high. And just seeing you like at Super Saturday with your people and hearing their stories, you love people and you take care of people, and y'all have amazing testimonies in Utah on your team. And anyways, it's really awesome to see that. So anyways, all right, anything, guys? Let's see.
Do you want to hear the end of I didn't say much about my I can talk for just a second about the business side, like now where we are. Okay. If you guys are ready to be done.
No, you're good. Yeah, do that.
Like business-wise, you guys, when we first started, like I said, God's way is the best way. He knows what's going on. We did have a need financially, but we were just in survival mode. So what happened was I could see the stress in my husband's face, that I was sick and tired of dealing with that, like, and seeing that. And so that was kind of my really strong financial why was, all right, I'm going to get that freaking look off his face. I'm so sick of the stress dominating and making the choices for us in our home. And we always knew we wanted to be entrepreneurs. So we tried several different things, but we didn't really know what that was going to look like. And so we've been able to go, my husband is just working part-time now. He has things he wants to do. Plexus is enabling that to happen because of our income, because it's legitimate. Like, I can't even believe the income that Plexus gives us for sharing these products. So it's totally transformed our lives financially too. And I feel like it's just a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. All the way around, everybody wins. Of course I have people quit. Of course I have the hard stuff. But we focus on that, and that outweighs the stress. Okay. So you said, okay, I have a friend who gave a 7-day trial pack, made major problems before, and has thyroid, felt amazing while she's taking the drink, and she's young, not a lot of extra funds. I want to talk to her about the opportunity, but I'm not good at that. What or how to go about it? Oh, okay. So I think, first of all, just letting her know that thyroid issues do not go away when you just ignore them. A lot of people don't understand, like candida yeast and gut health. This is not compliant, I'm sorry. Gut health is huge for thyroid people, and getting to the root of it is huge. I tried the other stuff for years. There's no easy way. This Plexus is the easy button for thyroid people. It's the secret. It's the easy button. This is the most easy to execute system that you can possibly find for thyroid people. So just really leaning into these products are going to change your world, because if you don't get control of this now as you age, these things don't go away. They'll just get worse and worse. So getting control of it now and keeping control of it is key. And that's why Plexus is so amazing, because it gets control of it and then it sustains. You can sustain it. It's not a cleanse that's too hard to execute. So I would really lean into how the products are going to change her world. Be confident, you guys. So confident these products will change their world.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it too, is truly believing and have passion and knowing that, honestly, you know, and being patient too. I think patience is key, because I mean, you know, I just hit 5 years last weekend, and it's crazy to me that people that I know, family that I know, that have made fun of me or scoffed at me are finally coming around. I mean, you know, it is a roller coaster, and it has highs and lows. And we, as diamonds, we have months where we're like, what the heck? What am I doing wrong? What, you know, I can't say enough. And 5 years in, I'm not even kidding, and I'm absolutely not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to show it is a roller coaster. I've probably had my best month that I've had since my first year this month alone. And it's because I'm still sharing my passion, even if I have those bad months, even if I have a month, because I've had several more than several, with no customers, no new ambassadors. I keep pushing, because I know these products are changing people's lives. I know this business is changing people's lives. I know there's people that can put groceries on their table because of this business, guys. And so it is a roller coaster, but you have to love people. You have to be patient with people, and you have to share without being pushy. And so anyways, I see that Christy, like epitomizes all those things, and I really do believe that. And so anyways, okay, does anybody else have anything?
I have a question. I have several customers on that are reaching out to me. They are wanting blood pressure, high cholesterol, and they're wanting to change their diet, but they don't want to go on meds. And so they have jumped on, they're taking the triplex, but they're like, I don't feel anything. Is this working? And, you know, my response is, you know, everybody's different. It takes time. Just keep taking it consistently. And they call me back. I didn't see anything else this month. You know, I am sleeping a little bit better, but do you just, I mean, how do you keep encouraging them? You know, you say, you know, keep being positive, and they keep coming back. I'm not seeing anything, you know, and I keep encouraging them to keep going, you know, go 6 months, get your blood work done. You know, let's see how this goes. Yes, it's obviously it will do something, but
yeah. For sure.
What would you guys
especially like cholesterol stuff. So my husband's cholesterol has dropped over 100 points because of Plexus. My father-in-law's has dropped tremendously, like so many people, but like, you're not going to feel if your cholesterol has dropped. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that you necessarily feel. But Mega X is also huge for heart, like cholesterol, blood pressure, heart. So Mega X is a huge thing that they might take. Also, make sure that this is the thing, like Plexus is a tool. And so they can't keep, I use this example, like you can't keep eating 3 desserts a day and expect Plexus to do its job. You know what I'm saying? And so make sure that they are drinking their water. That I'm not saying you can't ever have dessert by any means, but make sure that they are knowing that they do need to make the better choices as well. And, a lot of people don't realize, the sleeping better, the inflammation. Tell them to look at look at them. There's so many different things. And sometimes, and I've had this happen a lot lately, people go off of it and then they're like, oh my gosh, I felt so much better on it. And so anyways, Christy, what do you think about that?
I would ask, how many ProBio 5 are they taking? And how are their sugar cravings? That's one thing that I always go back to. That ProBio 5 is the driver for how intense their journey is. So if they're saying I'm not feeling anything, I say, okay, well, how many ProBio 5? I'm taking 2. How are your sugar cravings? I still have them. Okay, try 1 ProBio 5 in the morning and 2 at night. That killed my sugar cravings. And yeast, the sugar cravings is kind of a good indicator of how their yeast is doing. So once you get their gut health really good, when you get their gut healing and you get that bad bacteria back under control, they're going to feel more results. They're going to be like, oh yeah, my brain fog's going away. I don't crave sugar. Sometimes we even go up to 2 and 2 or 4. Like I take 4 at night. So I would definitely be adjusting their ProBio 5 and make sure that they're getting enough. Anything else?
And every person is different on that, and really that is the gauge of your sugar cravings. I take 4, and sometimes when I'm like having a really bad week and my sugar cravings start to creep back in, I actually take 5. But on just maintenance, I take 4. Like my husband takes 2. It just kind of depends what you need.
And that's why this business model, like I was such a hater, but this business model is so brilliant because we need to be following up and asking, how are you doing? How's your sugar cravings? We can kind of listen for those indicators of if they're going through die-off and help support them through that. We do deal with a lot of people in die-off because we're all about the gut health, and it's kind of the harder way because they don't feel the results right away. But long-term, it's going to give them that long-term foundation of health. And so, just take an individual approach with each person. I have like a Google sheet that has all my level 1s or my adopted level 1s that I know my brand new level 1s are not going to check up on. And I try to go through at least like once a week and just shoot a quick, are you getting into your regimen, whatever. So that I'm sure you guys are doing that, but making sure that you're specifically asking, how are your sugar cravings? Is your ProBio 5, blah, blah, blah. Checking up on that is huge. Does that help? And it can take up to a year too. Brooke Hemingway, who's one of my mentors, always says, oh yeah, you better show me your feed. That it can take up to a year for your blood work to change. So people have to understand, like, this is a tool and that you have to be confident though. If they're consistent enough, it will change their world. I've never seen someone not have amazing results that sticks with it. Sometimes it's 5, 6, 7 months in, but having that confidence and helping them tweak will be huge.
Well, and I'll say this about our ProBio 5. I was not a probiotic girl before Plexus. I was not a health girl before Plexus. I ran, but that's about it. I've had 2 people literally in the past month that took ProBio 5. One of them took ProBio 5, and then she told me for the next year tried 7 other probiotics and came back and was like, there's nothing like it. Another gal, the exact same thing. She actually was an ambassador, and she just financially was like, I'm going to step away from all this. And then she knew she needed probiotics, so she was getting it I don't know where. And she came back and she was like, no, She was like, I can't, like, Probiotic 5 is the best probiotic out there. So anyways, just knowing that, but knowing, again, the patience, that's, you know, such a huge thing. So anything else, guys? Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to stop